Hey, let's go. Let's go.
We're back again.
We at game 4.
We on the road this time.
It's an away game. And we here in the perfect office.
That's right.
Yes. With the perfect place.
Oh, with the perfect person.
The perfect person.
Yes, sir.
We got Chiko. Again, my name is Maurice McKinney, Millionaire Mo.
And I'm Dave Bell.
All right.
Yes,
This is
sir.
Below the Iceberg podcast. Let's go.
Yeah, so this is the Below the Iceberg, the perfect office suite guru edition.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. So we back again. I'm like excited, Maurice. How you feeling?
Man, we almost had the interview before the interview. You know what I mean?
Man,
We
had
had
to
so much
stop.
information.
Yeah, we had to stop because we were conversing and we had to stop because this guy was giving us too much.
Exactly.
We gotta save this for this.
Exactly. Y'all in for a treat, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So we back at it again, man. So today is the perfect office suite edition by the owner himself, Mr. Chiko, and he's the owner of Perfect Office.
That's right.
Yeah, man. So Mr. Chiko, thank you so much.
You could drop the mister. Yeah,
All right, I'm about to just call you Chiko.
You can
I'm just
call me
being
Chiko.
respectful.
You know what I'm
I'm being respectful. That's all. But yeah, man, just tell the people who you are, kind of where you're from.
Yeah, no. So I'm Chiko Abengowe. I'm an entrepreneur, and I own a couple of different businesses. It looks like today we're going to be focusing on mostly Perfect Office, but I do run a company called Perfect Staffing, Perfect Office, and Perfect Property. So I got the whole perfect situation going
I like
on.
that.
Everything's perfect on this side.
Sure.
Everything's perfect. No, that's cool, man. That's cool. We could definitely go into details a little bit later about your other your other company. So
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
yeah, man.
Well, you so we got your businesses, all right, but tell us a little about who you are as an individual, your journey as an entrepreneur, and where are you from, man?
Yeah. So pretty much, man. So for me, entrepreneurship I feel like it started when I was younger. As a kid, pretty much, I grew up, actually was born in Jos, Nigeria.
Okay.
Came here when I was about 7 years old. My dad was a minister. So he used to preach at different churches in Nigeria. So he got to a point where he was, kind of popular, and he migrated here to the US. And then he kind of just started doing his studies and everything, and then brought us over here in 1993 when I was about 7 years old. In the midst of that, got a chance to just kind of learn, start going to school. And of course, the transition from being a Nigerian kid to being in an American public school,
Right.
of course, was a little different, a little bit challenging.
Right.
In
But
the 90s?
yeah, definitely, man. Kids calling you African booty.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that
all
was
that
definitely
stuff,
a
you know what I'm
thing.
saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Me wearing Payless, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Us shopping at Ross, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Right.
So, and never having Nike shoes. So this was a little bit of a challenge.
Mhm.
Right.
But along the way, my dad had 2 different jobs and just try to take care of the family.
Mhm.
But along the way, he passed away.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He had liver cancer and passed away. And my mom was left with basically, it was just her and 5 kids. And she was a CNA.
Okay.
So CNAs, they make at that time, they were making about $11, $12 an hour.
Wow.
And she had to raise 5 kids on that type of income.
Oh wow.
So you can imagine, we didn't have a lot of different things that, folks were privileged to.
So are you the oldest, or you like that?
I'm not the oldest.
Okay.
I had an older brother.
Okay.
So we went through a lot of different challenges that just kind of, started to make me start thinking more about how do I get, or what do I need to do to get my family outside of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that in life, it's not about how good you are or what you know or what you don't know. You got to figure out the finances. You got to figure out the money part.
Exactly.
So I started reading at a very young age. I started reading, and everything I would read, it would just say, go to school, get good grades, graduate, and then get a good job.
The norm.
That was the formula for success.
Right.
That's what I thought at that time, that's what success was.
Mm-hmm.
So I locked in because I was like, you know what? I'm tired of these roaches. I'm tired of these mouses running around here like they own the apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mickey Mouse.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Like they're paying rent, bullying me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure.
So I was like, you know what? I got to figure out what this whole education thing is about. So in high school, I locked in. Got straight A's all 16 semesters in high school.
Wow. So were you like a valedictorian or something?
I wasn't valedictorian. I missed it. I missed it. Actually, it's so funny. I had above a 4.0.
Okay.
But somebody else, because she was taking AP classes, she had a 4.14.
Okay.
So I had a 4.08.
Okay.
So
excuse me.
Shout out your high school real quick.
Excuse me, Smarty.
My high school was Charles Herbert Flowers.
Okay.
Yeah, Charles Herbert Flowers. So and my mom told me, hey, we don't have any money. Obviously, I knew that. So she was like, hey, if you can't get a scholarship, you can't go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So locked in 4.0, all 16 semesters in a row, got the Bill Gates scholarship.
Oh, wow.
So went to Towson University. So Bill Gates paid. Yep.
Towson. So I used to live in Parkville. Parkville is not that far from Towson. I was actually in Towson today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm familiar with that area.
Yeah, so that's my school. That's my school.
Is that the Millennium Gates? Or
Yep.
how would they call it?
Yeah, the Gates Millennial Scholarship.
And that pays for your undergrad all the way through your PhD, whatever you want to get.
That pays for everything.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got that scholarship. Went to Towson with it. So first year, obviously, I didn't pay anything. It covers your room and board and tuition.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good for me. And then I stayed in the honor roll pretty much and graduated magna cum, whatever. I call it wrestling moves. So I graduated top 5%. And then finally landed me a job. And for me, at that point, like, remember, go to school, get good grades, graduate, and then get a good job.
Right.
For me, that was my whole success formula. So I was like, bam, I did it. You know what I'm saying? I graduated, started working for a staffing agency, a huge staffing agency in the area, staffing basically nurses. So I was a recruiter.
Right.
So in that moment, I was like, wow, I've accomplished what I set out to accomplish. But at the same time, I had this feeling of average.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
I felt like, dang, this is what I worked my whole life to get to. But I feel like I have so much more potential and I feel like I'm not really doing anything. So I felt average. And I was like, you know what? I got to figure out how to be great.
Mm.
And that's when I started studying like entrepreneurs, reading about people that are accomplishing great things.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I fell in love.
Mm.
I fell in love. I was like, entrepreneurship is where I need to be at.
Right.
So I got to figure out some type of service or some type of product, right, that people need so that way I can provide it to them and then they pay me. Because that's what entrepreneurship is.
Right.
So you just said
I definitely
something.
agree with that.
For sure. And you said something that I want you to elaborate because I don't know, earlier when we were talking, you were saying that one of your original goals were to make $35,000 or more and not necessarily have to work every day, but so that you can just live.
Mm-hmm.
What struck you to say, all right, now I met that goal or exceeded that goal, but now I realize that that's just average. Like, how did you know that average wasn't what you wanted to be? You wanted to be exceptional. Like, was it something that you read, something that you saw? What happened?
Yeah, no. So, that's a great question. For me, when I was looking at, going to school, getting good grades, graduating, and getting a good job, I had a certain image in my head, right?
Mm.
So then the reality, when it happened, didn't match the image I had in my head.
Mm.
So I was like, this doesn't make sense.
The suit wasn't fly, or what was it? What happened?
It wasn't the suit. It was
happened?
like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still eating ramen noodles. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm still living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I take a girl out. I'm scared to pay for the bill because I don't really know if it's going to bounce or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So the only thing that changed was instead of maybe using sandwich bread for your hot dogs, you had potato buns or something like that.
Something like that. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So you still eat hot dogs,
So you had a vision for yourself.
I had a vision for my
life. But you knew
life.
you wasn't right where you needed to be.
Right. And when I got the job, I wasn't there. I was like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So it just didn't match.
Right.
So then I started reading, researching how to get myself out of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I realized I was being average.
Mm.
I was making excuses.
Mm.
Somebody didn't put me in the situation I was in. I just accepted the situation I was in. You know what I'm saying? So,
wow. Hey, that's a bird.
Hold up. Say that one more
That's a
time.
bird. Run that back.
yeah,
Run that back.
nobody put me in the situation I was in,
Right.
right? I accepted the situation I was in.
Sheesh.
And that situation for me was average.
That's a bird.
There's no way to cut that. You
So
know what I'm saying?
What did that person look like? So you said you had kind of like a vision for yourself, but what did that person look like?
That person looked like somebody that wasn't always worried about money.
Okay.
That person looked like somebody that wasn't afraid.
Mm-hmm.
That person looked like somebody that didn't have to check with somebody else about my goals and dreams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That looked like somebody that was free. That's
Free.
what I wanted.
I like that. Free.
Fighting for freedom in the 21st century. It's a real thing.
So it's not about the money for him. It's about the freedom.
Freedom was my first and initial goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to get out of where I was. Not that I didn't like my job per se. I was great at my job. I was doing my job. I came in early. I stayed late. I was the best recruiter, right? But I knew that I was being average. And I knew I could do more. So I had to find a vehicle. So a job, a job wasn't that vehicle for me, right? To that will bring the greatness out of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to find another vehicle, right? That I can express or bring out the greatness that I thought that was in me.
Okay.
Right.
So, you talked about your job, your first job, and then finding out that you needed to find this vehicle.
Right.
What were some of the hardships that you experienced while you were finding that vehicle?
Well, I mean, I think the thing that was hard for me to accept in the journey of finding the vehicle, which was entrepreneurship, is just that my friends weren't doing the same thing.
Right.
We all had jobs and we were all excited about our jobs. So in my mind, I'm thinking, if I quit my job to leave to go chase this entrepreneurship thing, what would my friends think?
They probably thought you were crazy.
Yeah.
They did think I was crazy.
You're a nut. This guy crazy. What you talking about? Start your own business. What you talking
You
about?
think, man, you got noodles, don't you?
I
You
got
get
paid
paid
Every 2 weeks.
And
You
think
got hot
about
dog buns, right?
Relax.
it. Because the thing is this, whenever you make a little bit of money, your lifestyle upgrades to a point where that little bit of money you're making is not enough anymore.
It's not.
Think about
It's
it.
not. For sure.
I graduated, right?
Mhm.
Started working,
Right.
bought me a car. I didn't have a car before, but now I got a car note. When you got a car note, you got gas, you got insurance.
Right. I feel like you got a bird. Like, you about to drive a bird. You
Go ahead.
laughing. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Talk
Say
to
what you got.
Talk to the people, man.
Talk to me.
You think you fly, you pull up, right?
Yeah.
And you try to talk to a girl, you know what I'm saying? Try to show them you got the nice car.
It's
But now
probably a
you
Nissan.
can't even take her out.
Yeah, because you done spent every dime you had on
You
the
spend
car.
it on insurance and
And
you spend it on a car note.
Yeah.
And the gas, because you're going to get a nice car. It's got to have the premium.
Of course. They
You
got
gotta
to
pay
pay
extra.
I was going with the Nissan. I remember when I first got my job, I had a
Nissan Maxima?
I had the Hyundai Sonata, the big boy.
Okay.
But I was still in college, so I was doing something. That joint had the silver with the sunroof. You know what I mean? But I was going through the exact same thing that you was talking about.
Yeah.
But I had my car though. You know,
Through the
But
journey, you just you get scared, like because I had the new car and then I bought a condo, a penthouse condo. It was a studio,
Oh, he flexed
still
it.
but I didn't
He
tell
flexing.
anybody it was a studio. I just
Right.
told everybody I'm in the penthouse condo. You know what I'm saying?
Right, he flexed
Yeah.
different.
But
So it's like it was flexing, but you was like,
I
kind of
was
like,
living paycheck to
yeah.
paycheck. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you got a Benz, but
I
it's a
was
C
being
class.
average.
Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got a big
Yeah.
Benz, but it's a C
C
class.
class.
Right.
Exactly.
It's not
That
even
makes
the big
sense.
Benz, it's the baby Benz.
exactly,
You know?
exactly.
But it's clean though.
I was
Yeah.
trying to stunt.
Yeah.
You
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for sure.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
a paycheck
Uh-huh.
that somebody else was signing for me.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's a little different. So, and then in that journey of trying to just identify entrepreneurship for myself, I realized that I needed to stop being afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happened was the job that I had, I was there for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I quit because really what I was going to do is go full-time entrepreneurship.
Okay.
But I got scared. And guess what I did?
What you do, man?
I went and got another job.
You get a part-time job or another full-time?
Another full-time job.
Oh, man.
Because I was too scared.
Right. So
Right.
you kind of retreat. Like
Yeah.
Gary Vee say, people retreat.
Right.
When they're back against the wall, they retreat.
Yeah.
But you retreat and you double down and you got another
I
job
went and got another job.
because you had to fund the penthouse
Exactly.
and the cars.
Because I had overhead.
Overhead. That's
So I said, you know what? So I worked this second job 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Another 2 years to the goal.
In that 2 years, my penthouse condo, I was willing to give up anything now for freedom because I was tired of being average.
Right.
So my penthouse condo, I figured out how to get rid of it. I found out Airbnb, listed it on Airbnb, and started sleeping in my mom's house and sleeping in my car and sleeping at there was this lady that let me sleep in her attic.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you want something, you got to be willing to give up what you have now.
Yeah.
Knowing that you will have that what you want, doubled, tripled,
Wow.
Yeah.
10x.
So you scale back.
Right.
It's like a slingshot almost.
Exactly.
You scale back and then you
Exactly.
Pum, and then you go, to different levels.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I put my condo on Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
It rented out. And then I started trying to figure out, okay, where I'm going to live. So I stayed with my mom for a couple months. Then I found a lady that I told her I could teach her how to put her house on Airbnb.
Oh.
So she let me stay at her attic to run the whole house.
Wow.
Okay.
So it was a nice house.
And that's where you did the property management.
No, I had just started my property management company 2 years ago, but that kind of taught me property management unknowingly. But really,
so
what I
like
was
the
just
handyman, or
no, what I was doing was I was helping her build her house
Okay.
on Airbnb for her to make money.
Okay.
But she wanted me to also stay in the house so that way I could monitor what's going on. It was a huge house.
Okay.
Make
So
sure
no one knew
nobody's
you was in the attic.
Still in front.
No, they knew.
Okay.
So that was part of the whole Airbnb. Chico was in the house.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah,
In the house?
Chico was in the house.
Like
I was
Murray and Hill.
I was in the attic. So I would take care of them. I make sure they had fun, make
Yeah.
sure, So everybody was coming to the house for me.
Okay.
They're like,
Okay.
I heard about this guy Chico in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me.
Hey.
I got you. You know what I'm saying?
Chico in the house.
His name ringing bells out there in the Airbnb community.
So I was helping her make $15,000 a month for that house.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
That's good right there.
Yeah, and
Her
she was-
mortgage probably wasn't even what?
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't that. So she was letting me stay in the
You could have
attic.
stayed as long as you wanted to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You giving her that money?
Yeah.
You
It's
did
funny
good,
because
bro.
she had.
I would have gave you a couple of dollars.
Oh, she did.
Oh yeah.
Because she asked me, so how much are you going to charge me for this? I wasn't going to charge because she was letting me stay in the attic.
She didn't know what
And
she
the
was
attic
doing for you.
had a room, a living room, a bathroom,
The
and a
hell kind of
balcony.
attic is this?
And a balcony. Yeah. It was a nice
It's
little-
one of the new. It was new construction, probably.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
new
I know what you're talking about.
construction,
It's like with the deck on top.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So,
That's
yeah,
nice.
that sounds nice, man.
Sheesh.
So I was doing that and then I did that for about a year. Well, I was renting out my condo for about a year. Then I got the confidence to leave my job.
Okay.
So December 3rd, 2012, walked up to my manager. Actually, this is not how it happened. So I left the second job. So I actually left the second job and I got scared again.
Oh my man.
A lot of
Retreat.
people actually
Yeah, the
people
third
don't know
job.
this story.
You got another job?
Tell them,
People
man.
don't know this story. This is
Yeah,
the first time I'm telling this story. So I got scared again and I got a third job.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Three jobs?
With Robert Half.
Robert Half. Where's that
It's a
name?
staffing agency. A
Okay.
huge staffing agency. They promised me that they were going to be paying me $70,000. Now I'm going for making $35,000.
Mhm.
They promised me they're going to give me $70,000. So I'm like, dang, maybe I should
Sound
hold
right.
off. Maybe I should hold off on this entrepreneurship thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So December 3rd was my first day there, Monday.
Mhm.
I'm sitting there. I'm learning everything. They're introducing me to folks. And they're like, man, we love you here, man. You know, everybody likes you here. And then I went into the office with my manager and I told him, hey, you know what? I've been sitting down. I've been thinking about it. I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm not coming back tomorrow.
Wow.
First
You
on
didn't
the
even
first
put-
day.
On the first day,
You didn't
December
even put
3rd,
your 2 weeks in,
2012.
man.
I said, I'm
Sheesh.
not coming back tomorrow. He said, yeah, you know what? I know this is new. This
No.
could be fast. You know what? Go home.
Yeah.
Sleep, Chico.
Think about it.
Think about it. And I'll see you
Exactly.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, I'm telling you.
Your spirit was moving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the whole time I was sitting at my desk, you know what was going on in my mind?
Mm-hmm.
God said, you're going to keep giving up on yourself.
Mm.
You already did it twice.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why do you keep giving up on yourself?
Let's go. I wish we had an amen like
it was a book.
sound effect.
It was
That's
a book
fact.
called Soar by T.D. Jakes.
Right.
And he kind of touched down on that.
Right.
Same
He
thing
said,
talking about.
I believed in you.
Mhm.
I believe in you.
Mhm.
It's not that I just started believing in you right now. I believed in you before I even made you.
So you felt like the
I'm not
chosen one.
Yeah, I felt like God was saying, I'm not the problem.
Right.
You are.
Right.
So when are you going to start believing in yourself?
Wow.
I said today. I told my manager, I'm not coming in tomorrow.
Wow.
I only had $1,000 in my bank account. Right? I had a mortgage to pay. And I had a car note to pay.
But the Airbnb was already popping though.
But the Airbnb was popping.
Yeah.
Because the Airbnb, I was making $3,000 on that a month. My mortgage was $1,000. So I was kicking me back $2,000.
Okay.
Then I was tutoring on a platform called Wise N. I was tutoring accounting and economics to Georgetown students, charging them $50 an hour.
Okay.
Wow.
Then I was doing this little thing on the app that just came out called Gig Walk. You go around to different stores, you take a picture, you submit it in, you get paid $5.
Okay.
So all of that was bringing me in about $3,500.
Okay.
I was like, all right.
What you working for?
So you basically supplement your income.
Exactly. Replace my income.
Replace it. Yeah.
Yep.
Sheesh.
So I quit my job that day with $1,000. And then the next day I sat home because I was just trying to figure out, I didn't have to do something right away, but I was trying to figure out, okay, what should I do? Because I did have some money coming in from just the different side hustles I was doing. But I couldn't sit down for long. On December 5th, I drove up to Baltimore and started my first company, Perfect Staffing Solutions.
Okay. And that's from the experience.
Yeah.
And that's what's so great about just like, how everything being organic and life just guiding you is you took not only one job at a staffing agency, it was a total of 3, even though the third one only lasted a day.
A day, right.
But then
start with what you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't make things too complicated. Start with what you know. All right. And then you can dive into other stuff as the opportunity presents itself.
So a lot of people that's transitioning to start their own business and then working a 9 to 5 kind of start a business around what are you already doing because you already got the experience from your 9 to 5 and you already know like what to get to that next level because you're working for someone. Try to start a business around your 9 to 5.
Yeah, no, I would encourage that because you're basically getting paid to learn at your 9 to 5.
Right.
Yeah. If you're just showing up and going home, you're really doing yourself a disservice.
Exactly. Learn everything you can learn because when I was doing the recruiting thing, I used to ask my manager, hey, I know it's not my job to go out and get the contracts.
Right.
But can I accompany you and go out and get the contracts?
Wow.
And I got them one of the biggest contracts that they have with Holy Cross Hospital.
Wow.
Because I knew the lady from another situation I was doing. And then got the meeting with her. And then that way they established that. And that organization had never had a contract with Holy Cross Hospital.
Wow.
But they got it.
Yeah.
When I was there.
And it's crazy because me just listening to your story, it sounds like you always had potential. You always was doing like excellent things, but you were the only one doubting yourself. Always. And you finally overcame that. And that's the same. Crazy. That's the same with everybody. We're always doubting ourselves. So I started the first company. I go try to look for an office space. It was hard for me to find it. The first situation, they said I didn't have any credit. Second situation, they tried to lock me down on a 2 to 5 year lease. Yeah. And I'm just starting a business. I'm just starting my entrepreneurship journey. I didn't know if I'm even gonna last 2 months. Right. So why commit myself to 2 to 5 years of a lease? And the third place I went to, they were trying to charge me like $2,500, $5,000. I didn't have it. And then I finally found a place that was $700 a month in a little situation. You know, it wasn't a hole in the wall. Yeah, a hole in the wall. But I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I need a place to work. So I take it up, and then every day I'm in there, 100 phone calls every single day.
Banging them out.
Cold calling. And what I used to do, I used to reach out to clients and try to see if they need staffing services. Okay. Now I kept hitting the wall because, you know, there's probably a lot of things that I needed to learn about how to communicate with them. And then I didn't give up. I started to put out my resume as if I was trying to apply to a job. Right. And when companies would call me, I would go to the interview. I wouldn't tell them over the phone. I would just go to the interview. I would dress sharp, look good, smell good, everything.
Yeah.
And then after the interview, I tell them, I know this is the best interview that you've had to date. And I know that you're ready to offer me the job.
Right.
But can I just ask you one thing? And they're like, what is that? I said, I do not want you to hire me as a W-2. I want you to hire me as a 1099.
Exactly.
As a contractor.
Right.
I said, why is that? I said, well, I own my own business, Perfect Staffing Solutions. And I want you to hire me through Perfect Staffing. So that I could be a contractor
Smart.
for you.
That's boss talk.
That's smart.
You know what I'm saying?
Man. That's smart.
That's boss talk.
So I did that a couple times, and it didn't work, but it worked with this huge technology company. I don't know if I could name drop, but
Yeah, sure.
We don't mind.
they're called 2U right now.
Yeah, we don't mind.
2U right now.
Yeah. We're not
So-
big yet.
Yeah.
But when we get big, then yeah, we're gonna have
We
to
get a cease and desist.
No, they're gonna have to pay us some money.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
man.
mentioned it, right?
Now, you take the label off the water
Yeah.
bottle, but
Right.
that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, let's go.
So I reach out to them, and then they're like, you know what? We've never done that before. We don't know what that looks like. You know, we just hire employees. I said, well, you know, you've never done that before? They're like, yeah, we've never done that before. Do you have like an agreement that you can send us? I didn't have an agreement. And sometimes in life, you don't have to figure everything out right away.
As you go, do it as you go.
You do it as you go.
Yeah.
Right.
So when they said that, oh, we don't have any agreement, like a contract agreement. I said, don't worry, I have one. They were like, okay, can you send it to us? Google is your best friend.
Yes, sir.
Staffing agreement samples.
Right.
Looked at the one that I liked, changed my name a couple different places, sent it to them.
Exactly.
They were like, okay, this looks good. Now, what type of hourly rate are you requesting for? Right?
Yeah.
So I said, what are you all offering? You know, now mind you, at my job, when I had a job, I was making like probably $15 to $16 an hour.
But you already had the 70,000 job offer, so
Job offer, right.
Yeah.
But watch this. So they come back to me. They're like, hey, you know what? We're thinking about $26 an hour. Now mind you, $26 an hour is better than the $15, $16 I was making.
right.
But sometimes you got, you know,
You said that's
you gotta
something
work.
like
I said, you know what? You know, and I'm on the phone, I'm playing too. I'm like, you know what? 26, am I going to be able to cover the taxes and the office supply? And I don't know if 26 is going to work.
Let's
I don't know
negotiate.
if 26 is going to work.
Right.
You know what? Let me call you right back. I got to do some numbers real quick to see if 26 will work. So I hang up the phone. Then I call him back in 10 minutes. I say, you know what? I did the numbers. 26 is very close. But I think 35 will work.
That's hard.
Guess
Yeah.
what?
I said, sure.
They took me in for 35.
That's hard, man.
Yep. 35.
And how long was that into your journey?
So that was March. So December, I quit my job, started the company. And then, and it's so funny, when I started the company, one of my friends called me. He said, one of the guys I used to work with from the first job called me. He said, congratulations on starting your staffing company. And then he asked me, he was like, hey, Chiko, do you have your staffing agreement? Do you have your staffing license? I said, staffing license.
I didn't know you need a staff.
Yeah,
I was like,
right.
what's that? I didn't know you needed a staffing license. He was like, yeah, if you're going to be staffing nurses, you need a staffing license. That's when I went in and Googled, what is a staffing license? And to get a staffing license, you need your policy and procedure, which I ended up writing that weekend, 65 pages of just everything that happens. If a terrorist attack happens, what's going to happen? If somebody catches HIV that you staffed in the hospital, what's going to happen? Like, you need to write all this stuff down. Then submit it to Maryland, the Office of Healthcare Quality, and then they issue you a license. That's the only time you can staff a hospital or a healthcare facility.
Okay.
So I submit that in January. As I'm waiting for that to get approved, that's when I get hit up by 2U and I start working with them.
Okay.
Because I couldn't staff healthcare professionals. So I'm working with them for a month. They really like the production that I'm doing. And then they asked me, hey, do you know anybody else that needs work? Because you're being a lot more productive than the 10 staff that we have here. So we need 10 more of you, like 5 more of you, contractor. I said, well, if you need 5 more of me, I know exactly where to get them. Perfect staffing. That's
you
who
plugged it.
that's
You plugged yourself in.
right. I said, that's who staffed me.
Right. You plugged
He
yourself
was like,
in.
as the vice president, he was like, but you are perfect staffing. I was like, I know. That's what I'm saying. I
got
can
what
get
you
you
need.
more.
I got what you need.
So it's so funny. He was like, okay, how fast can you get them to me? I need them here. So this was a Thursday. He said, I need them here by next week, Tuesday.
Mm.
I said, I can get them to you. All I just need you to do is sign right here.
Mm.
Did you do the increase?
For 5 more people.
Did you
Yes,
do the
of course.
Okay. What's the number?
That bag. I need that bag.
$40 an hour.
There we go.
Woo.
Yeah.
I need that
$40
bag.
an hour. And I don't know. The thing is this. I don't know if I should say this. This is what I did actually. But the thing is, for me, it was the ambition in me to meet the goal that was set. I called some of my friends that I thought would be interested. Obviously, the good guys got a job,
Mhm.
right? So they weren't interested. So I said, you know what? I can't disappoint this client. This is what I'm going to do. I went downtown Silver Spring. I started asking folks, hey, you want to make $20? Hey, you want to make $20? Hey, you want to make I got 10 people that wanted to make $20 an hour. I said, meet me at the office Saturday morning. I'm going to teach you how to be a recruiter. So Saturday, Sunday, we were in there all day long. I said, only 5 people are going to make it out of this room. When you make it out of this room, you're guaranteed $20 an hour. You're making $12 an hour right now. But if you make it out of this room, I'm going to guarantee you $20 an hour.
It was probably hungry.
Sheesh.
It was hungry.
It was hungry.
I picked the top 5 people.
Yeah.
Rest had to go home.
Right.
I put them at the job, right? And I told the client, I was like, these are the top recruiters.
Wow.
They've been recruited. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell them how long they've been recruited.
Right.
I said, these
You gotta
are
tell them too
my
much.
best recruiters right here.
These are my
So I
rock
said,
stars.
but look, the way we work is this.
Uh-huh.
I need you to give me a room with just me and my recruiters. Because we don't like to work amongst other folks.
Yeah.
We like to work by ourselves.
Right.
In your own space.
In your facility.
In your
Now watch this.
Right.
They already know how I work, right? So they're like, you know what, Chico, you need a whole space to yourself?
Yeah.
Go for it. But the reason I asked for that, I didn't want them to see these guys messing up.
Right.
Then they're going to be like, no, Chico, no, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
So they put us in a room by ourselves. I was in there. So I trained these guys to be killers. And at the end of the month, these guys were so good and we were performing better than their staff. At that point, because think about it, if you do the math, I'm making $20, $20 on top of 5 people times 40 hours. So at this point, I was making enough money. I asked the contractor, I said, hey, can I get out of my contract? Because now I wanted to go in the office. I hired an administrative assistant so that way I can start trying to reach out to other clients because I didn't want to just depend on this client. So that was 2013. So 2013, which is our first year in business, we did $400,000. 380 of it was from that client.
Wow.
Right. So I was afraid that what happens when our contract ends with them,
Right.
which it ended up doing. They ended up taking all those 5 employees, they took them all full time.
Wow.
So 2014, I didn't have anything.
Right.
But good thing I was out making other calls because in 2014, even though we didn't have that client, we did $800,000 in business.
Woo. Close to $1 million?
And then the following year, we did $1.2 million.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So you built a company that quick?
That quick.
To generate that much revenue?
I was in the office 16 hours.
Yeah, you was putting the time in.
Every single day.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some of those people probably still thank you to this day.
Of course.
To take them off the street, to give them $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And then to recruit the top 5. And now they have, those positions with those companies. That's amazing, man.
So you got a lot of confidence to do that. You were confident you were going to get that done. I don't think you doubted yourself that you were going to.
No, I was scared the whole time.
I'm going to do that.
I was scared the whole time. But the thing is this. Even when you're scared, take action. Yeah, I'm confident now that I'm telling the story.
Right.
But if you saw me then, I'm like, where's my next meal going to come from?
Right.
Because the thing is, although we made $400,000 that year, I only paid myself $5,000 that year.
That for tax purposes?
No, it wasn't for tax purposes.
You had to pay salaries.
Okay. I had to pay salaries
because you wanted to grow.
I had to put it back in the company for it to grow because that's how we doubled without that $400,000 because I was putting it right back into the company.
Well, I had to ask because a lot of people got S corps, and they pay themselves. They report they pay themselves $5,000 a year off of $400,000.
I wasn't trying to cheat.
That's a whole different story.
It's a whole different story. You just had to ask.
No. So, that's all I could afford to pay myself then. But because mind you, I was still making my Airbnb money.
Right.
I was still making my tutoring money.
Okay.
So I just told myself, do not take anything from the business unless you need it. You need it. So I reinvested in the company, and then the second year, that's when I started paying myself a salary of $40,000.
And that's discipline, because a lot of entrepreneurs don't do that.
Yeah,
you know, get it and spend it.
Get it and spend it.
Yeah,
you know. And I had those conversations with my team all the time, and we talked about this briefly, as far as finding vehicles that you can use to finance your personal interest. And when you have this type of money flowing in constantly, if it's going out just as fast as it's coming in,
right,
it'll never be enough.
No.
It'll never be enough.
Yeah, you got to reinvest.
So that salute to you for that discipline. You know,
definitely.
That's great.
But yeah, so I just want to transition. So you started the staffing agency.
Yes.
What made you start the office?
Good question.
Good because that's where we're at right now. We're in his office, one of his office spaces, and he has 16 offices. But yeah, what made you start that? Good question.
So at this point, I had built the staffing company to about $1.2 million, 2015. But right before that, 2014. Okay, the Perfect Office company actually starts way before that. Okay, so remember, I get an office at $700, right? All right, let's go back there. So in that office space, right, there was 20 different offices. So almost something like a perfect office. The landlord of that building, he was trying to try something new. So they had a lot of different offices, big offices. But when the economy had went down in 2008, right, a lot of the companies they had in their space couldn't afford their space. So in that building, they created 20 smaller offices to charge about $500 to $1,000 a month. So three companies occupied that space, and it still had 20. And I was the third company to occupy that space. So when I got in there and I started, remember, when I got in there, that freed me up to be able to start making phone calls and stuff and start building my business. So after a year, and I did $400,000, I asked them, I said, hey, Adam, I noticed something. I'm the only one always coming in here.
Right.
You got 20 offices and they're still empty. What's going on? Because I know people like myself that need these offices and would really appreciate it to only pay $700, $800 a month for office space. I said, what's going on? He said, you know what? I don't know. We've been trying to market this office space for the past 2 years, and you three are the only ones that we got in there.
So you're saying they had all these sub offices, no one was leasing them, except for your company?
Well, they had those smaller offices in that building. There was only 2 other people leasing it and myself.
Wow.
Right? So I said, hey, I know a lot of people that would rent something like this. What are you doing for marketing? I said, you know what? How about this? How about I help you? Since I'm already down here building my company, Perfect Staffing, I'll assist you in renting out the other 20 other offices here. Right? And he said, well, I mean, what are you going to charge me? I said, no, I'm not going to charge you anything. Sometimes in life, you got to give value to get value.
Exactly. It's one of the Gary Vee principles.
That's a bird. Got to give value to get value.
Right.
I didn't need anything from him. I just wanted to help. Right? In the process of trying to help him fill that space, in 6 months, guess what? The whole entire space was filled.
Wow.
Different companies. So he calls me. They call me up to their office space. They're like, hey, Chiko, like, what did you do to fill up this space? Like, we've been trying to fill up this space for some time. Like, what did you do?
Right.
So I just shared with people, with entrepreneurs.
Right.
They were like, wow, man, that's exciting. You know, we want to share in the revenue with you.
Wow.
You know, we want to give you a percentage of the profit that we make from those 20 offices there. Since everybody already knows you, they probably think like you're the landlord, you know, because you're the one collecting the check for us. At that time, they were collecting the checks and bringing it to us. So everybody
went above and beyond.
Yeah, I went above and beyond.
Yeah.
I'm there. I like the fact that I had other entrepreneurs there that I could bounce ideas off of. There was an accountant there. I could go to him and be like, hey, you know, this is how I'm doing my books. What do you think? There was a marketing lady right down the hallway. Hey, you know what? This is what I'm thinking about marketing. What do you think?
Right.
So everybody in that environment was just kind of like bouncing off of each other.
Okay.
So I was like, man, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I go up to him. I said, hey, landlord, I've been researching you all. Now, this is all while I'm building Perfect Staffing. I said, I've been researching you all. You all have like 20 buildings around here. Why don't we take those 20 buildings and we create 20 offices like we have in this building and all of them?
Duplicate.
Yeah, duplicate the same situation.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he was like, man, you know what, Chiko, that's a good idea,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not the business we're in.
So was this before WeWork?
No, this was around WeWork. Because at that time, I was reading about WeWork and I was reading about Regis. So I was like, man, I could tell him, let's do the same thing.
Yeah.
So he says, Chiko, that's a good idea, but that's not the business that we're in.
Mm.
We're used to getting large government contractors and big companies, and they pay us $50,000 a month, $60,000, $100,000 a month, and we never have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the situation you have in there with those 20 offices, you have offices paying you about $700 to $1,000 a month. They need a lot more hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something we're interested in. Sometimes they late on rent, you got to chase them and all that stuff.
Mm.
That's not something that we're interested in.
Right.
So I said, okay, you know what? That does make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
You all are catering to a different class of businesses. How about this? I'll be a company. I want to start a company that's that large client for you. I'll pay you the $20,000, the $30,000, the $40,000, or the $50,000 you need monthly
For the entire floor, essentially.
for the entire floor,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll break it up,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be the one that handle the small entrepreneurs
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
because I
Smart.
understand what they need,
Right. Right.
and I have already been doing it for them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But now I can do it as a business.
Exactly.
They said, really, you want to do that? Yeah.
Why not?
I said, that's my folks.
And sometimes people just can't understand different ways you can break down a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all you did was, if they would have listened to you, you probably wouldn't have been here. Maybe that just wasn't their calling, but you just broke it down a certain way where you were giving them that 40, 50,000,
Right.
and you made that revenue off the other different
Right.
units.
The thing is, that's not something that they're interested in. Sometimes, they got enough money to buy a building
Right.
and then rent out to bigger clients.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for them, it's a different game now.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes it's almost like, they're in the big leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no.
Okay.
For me, yes. You know what I mean?
For sure. Okay.
So it makes sense. So I was like, hey, do you have a building that I can rent out from you and subdivide it into like 20 to 40 offices?
Mm-hmm.
They were like, you know what? Yes.
Mm.
There's a building in Beltsville. It's been empty for 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
Nobody in there. It used to be a government contractor that was in there. The offices are already kind of built out.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go see it? Say, let's go see it.
Mm-hmm.
We go get to Beltsville, get in there. It's dark, shady, nasty carpet, whatever. I was like, but I saw the vision.
So, yeah.
I was like, all I got to do, put wood floors, paint up this, I'd be good. So it was like 50 offices. So I said, I want the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, Chiko, well, we're used to you having about 20 offices. We know you can handle that, but we don't know about 50 offices. So this is what we'll do. We'll give you half the space, 26 offices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're successful with these 26 offices, we'll give you the other half.
Mm.
Now, the half that they have, I wasn't really thinking about what half I should have picked. I should have picked the half that actually had a front entrance.
Right.
But I picked the half that was the back.
Okay.
Oh, no.
What was your thinking with that? Why'd you choose that half?
I picked that half because the half already had the wood floors.
Okay.
Oh,
So
so
I was
you
like-
have to put too much into
Exactly.
into it.
Okay.
But I forgot, okay, all right, once I got the space and the entrepreneur started moving in, the mailman couldn't find us.
Right.
So people's mails the entrepreneurs weren't getting their mail.
Right.
Oh, man.
Right.
Because I was thinking, okay, all right, I'm running a staffing company. All right, this is going to be automatic. I'm going to put them in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They could be in there renting office space. They don't need me. I'm over here running my own business.
Mm-hmm.
But because we couldn't get the mail,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I started thinking about, I need to hire someone. So I hired a girl just to sit outside and wait for the mailman.
Mm.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
Sheesh.
Sit outside.
Sit
Yeah.
outside.
You found her in downtown Silver Spring too?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
You know, at this time I have a staffing agency, so I was like, I was like, man, I need a girl. I need an administrative
It's probably
assistant.
easy for him.
They got the hustlers in downtown Silver Spring. So
Bam, I found somebody. They start sitting out there, and it helped me a little bit. And then I had a motivation to fill up those 26 fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I fill up the 26 fast.
Mm-hmm.
Then I called my landlord and said, hey, we're ready. I need that other space.
Mm-hmm.
Get that.
And at that point, he's like, oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
You needed that fast? I was like, yeah, I need it. Because these entrepreneurs, they're about to move out if I can't get their mail.
Right.
So then at that point, we get the whole entire other 26 offices and then get an actual front.
Mm-hmm.
And then I built a front desk there. And then that was our first location.
Wow. Yeah, man. So I just have a question for you. Damn, you didn't. I love the journey, man. I love the journey.
Crazy.
It's like you're still on it.
So
Still on it.
So you got the perfect office where we're at now. Perfect office.
Yeah.
What was some of your failure moments when you filled up the whole 50? And what did that kind of look like?
I mean, I think, in the beginning, it was definitely hard trying to build a brand, trying to get people to understand. Because sometimes people call you, they say they need an office space. But when they come in and they realize that, like, it's not an office space, it's like individual offices within a shared workspace. People weren't understanding what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped trying to explain it over the phone.
Right.
I just said, man, I sell them on an office space and sell them on a price.
Right.
So you got 24-hour access, free parking, receptionist services, free Wi-Fi, and a modern office space that you can access 24/7, and then just come see it.
Right.
Because once they get here, they can understand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes people on the phone, they're like, I need my own receptionist space. I need my own 2 offices within an office.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When they get here, then they understand it.
Exactly.
Understand how it works. So that was one of the challenges I had trying to sell it, and then try to build a brand. But now I feel like folks kind of understand what a co-working space is.
So I feel like you was ahead of your time, man. You talking about years ago, like co-office spaces and all. That's like kind of.
This is around 2012 to 2014.
This was
like the last couple of years.
Perfect Office started in 2014.
Okay, 2014.
Mm-hmm. So we really started really getting traction in like 2015, 2016.
Okay.
Yeah. So because think about it, before in a whole month, we would probably lease, if we were lucky, probably 4 to 6 offices in a month.
That's good.
Yeah, but last month we leased 107 offices in 1 month.
Man,
yeah,
that was a good month.
I got some mailboxes in my corporate building. We talk about that. People come visit. They need to be leased out. And we break that down.
and that's not even mailboxes. That's actual physical offices.
Yeah. I got mailboxes that I want to lease out. But you can lease anything. You know what I mean? So I might have to reach out to you for that.
Yeah.
So. Now that you started your office business, it came very organic. It went from your staffing agency needing that space, and then that you led with value.
Yeah.
Now you have a legitimate business. But what is your business model? Did you define it from that process of 26 to the 50 offices? Can you explain what your model is today?
Yeah. So I mean, like at first I thought I was just gonna have just those 26 offices, but. And that's why, like in life, when you have challenges that come up, solve those challenges, because those challenges could lead you to other things. I just thought I was going to have 26 offices. Right. But then I had the challenge of people can't get their mail. So I was like, okay, now I got to get the other 26 so I can have a front desk. So I got that. And then I got that. I was like, okay, this is not bad. Let me get a second location. So my second location ends up being in the building of the first location that the landlord had.
Okay.
Where I'm running my staffing company. So I wanted to be in that building too. So he had a space that became available on the second floor. Enough for me to have 20 offices, right? So I said, 20 offices, now I need staff. I'm used to now having staff. That's not going to be enough to pay my staff. I really need at least 40. So I go back to him. I say, hey, you know what? In this building, I'm already managing the 20 down here, which I'm in. I'm about to take 20 upstairs. You all don't want to be in this business anyway. Why don't we just do this? all these 20 tenants here, why don't you just transfer them to me? And then I rent the office upstairs, and then that'd be 40.
Hmm.
He said, yeah, sure.
Sheesh.
So you're moving that volume like Costco.
Yeah, man.
You renting 20 units.
Yeah.
40 units.
He said, sure.
Units. Yeah.
So then I said, we're building that out. I'm promoting to the 20 that we got downstairs, telling them to promote, help me promote. And then when we open up those 20 upstairs, we sell out in 1 week.
Mm.
Right. Then I'm sitting down, I'm like, hey, okay, we might got something here.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what? We're like the Walmart of the office space company because all of our competitors are charging 3 to 4 times more.
Mm.
I was like, okay. I got 2 buildings now. I got 80 offices, 50 in one, 40 in one, right? What's that? That's not 80.
90.
I'm like, but it's the same landlord. So I start saying, maybe I should go find a different landlord in case something happens with this land. So every in life, every moment, you know what I'm saying, that you get to, or every level you get to, there's you see something else.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, I got 2 buildings. This is working out good. 90 offices, full, but it's with the same owner. Let me go try to find a third owner that has a different building in a different city. Let me see. That's how I ended up in Lanham.
And now you got that value proposition.
I got the value proposition.
Yeah.
Because at first, the first landlord, they weren't asking me for my business credit. They weren't asking me for my revenue and my financials. They already saw the value I added to them. So that alleviated that process. Now, the second landlord, third building, you know what they asked me for?
Everything.
Revenue, financials, everything. But now I had it.
Yeah, it
Now I
was
had it.
easy transition.
Gave it to him.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then he's like, no, this is not how you do it. We're not gonna spend this type of money and fix up the space.
He was trying to do a build out.
Yeah, they weren't trying to do a build out.
Okay.
So I was like, dang, how am I gonna do this? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take more risk than I normally take. I said, I want the whole floor. There was a floor he was trying to get rid of. He was trying to rent it out. He couldn't. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take the whole floor. And how about this? You don't gotta do nothing. Just give me a nice, sexy front entrance.
So they had to build that out. So
all they did was knock down the wall and put a glass entry, right? I said, give me the offices how they are. The offices had nasty blue carpet. And I said, give me an allowance of $5,000 so I can paint. So he was like, really? That's all you want? You know, I was like, yeah. I mean, that's what you're not giving me anything more. So they built out the front area there, took up the whole entire floor, got a painter to come paint. God did a horrible job, but by the way, it doesn't. And then, so I get the space, but I realized that all the doors didn't have locks on them. They were just like the regular office door. Anybody could just come in. I was like, oh, shoot. And I started renting out. I rented out like 5 of them. And one of the ladies was like, hey, Chiko, I don't have a lock for my door. I was like, really? And that's the first time I noticed that. So I was like, dang. Then I had to use my own money, go buy from Home Depot locks, individual locks for each door. And, but of course, I don't know how to install it. So then I had to pay somebody to come install it.
That was a lift for them.
Yeah. So they installed 60 doors.
Yeah, that was a lift.
60 doors. And that was our first time having an entire floor. So I was like, okay. You know, it took us like, I think 6 months to fill up that whole entire floor with tenants. And I was like, okay, we can handle a floor. And boom, in that same process, I was like, you know what? Let me go get the 4th location. That was Riverdale. Actually, the building right next to, this one.
Okay.
Riverdale. Then we opened up in Columbia. Then we opened up in Fort Washington. Then Silver Spring. Then Baltimore. Then we opened up a second Riverdale, which this is. And then Lanham. Then Rockville. Then Baltimore. Then Lutherville. Yeah. So now we have 13 open locations with 4 in the works.
So can I ask you a question real quick? Because there's someone who's watching it and, you know, I have a real estate background, but can you explain to the audience out here what a build out is and how that's customary sometimes in the commercial real estate business?
I mean, how I understand it pretty much is this. So like when you lease a space, if it's big enough, a landlord really technically is supposed to build out your space. They're supposed to put a certain amount of money in it so that way it can look the way you want it to look.
Right.
It's their way of saying like, okay, we need you, we want you in this space. So that's pretty much what a build out is. Now you can use that whole build out dollar. Sometimes they'll allocate a certain amount of dollars to you for you to use for your build out. It might be something like $50 a square feet or, $70 a square feet. And if you like me, you're going to hammer them, you know what I'm saying? With a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Or sometimes if I'm in a situation where I really want the space, it might not be a nice of a build out like this. I might just take it as it is because I know I could probably, do some stuff, fix it. So if you go to some of our locations don't look as nice as this location does.
Okay.
So that has something to do with build out.
And that was the strategy that you chose for the particular property.
Yeah, it just depends on how bad do you want her? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna, it's like a relationship.
They
man.
say it ain't tricking if you got it.
How bad do you want the real estate? How bad do you want the building? How bad do you want the location?
Right.
So for some buildings, you're able to negotiate a good build out, and some buildings you're not. Because just the landlord is just like, I'm not doing it. Or there's more demand.
Is that common when you're buying, like you're renting out whole floors that, they're just real nonchalant like that?
I mean, it's a business. Okay. So landlords are going to try to get away with what they can get away with.
Okay.
Yeah. But on the landlord side, it's like, do I wait a couple more years to try to lease out 4 different units of this floor? Or do I just take a hit and give it to Chiko right now, pay a little bit more, right? But over time, I'm going to make more money anyway because instead of me waiting 2 years, I'm collecting rent 2 years.
Right.
And you got that value. You add value to them.
You add value, yeah. Because sometimes sometimes we get in a building, we add value and people move in, people start to see that building. And a lot of our tenants grow out of our space into the landlord's bigger space.
Wow.
Yeah, like for example, our Laurel location, 98% of the tenants in that building are either our tenants or tenants that grew out of our space and rent it from the landlord.
It sounds like you need to add a buyer agency agreement to your lease.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to get there.
Yeah. Now that you kind of broke down your structure, what you do, and moving forward, what separates your office suite company from others? I know you were talking about y'all at Walmart. So can you kind of break that down? Like, what makes you different?
I mean, I just think we're sexier.
Okay.
Yeah, break that down. Yeah, break that down.
Okay.
So basically, I think we're just a little bit more fun. We're not as rigid.
Okay.
You have companies that have been in the business for a little bit longer than we have been, and they're doing great. They're doing a good job in terms of, but they just never had any competition.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you think you're the greatest in an industry because you don't have any competition.
Right.
For example, you have companies that have been doing this for a long time. For example, WeWork, and you have Regis. Regis has been doing this for 30 years, actually, more than 30 years.
Wow.
They have 3,000 locations all over the world.
Wow.
But they've never had competition. You know what I'm saying? Since we started in 2014, Regis has about 16 locations in the Washington, in the Maryland area.
Okay.
Right? Since then, they haven't added any new locations. We've gone from 1 to 16. You know what I'm saying?
So you're taking up the market share.
Right,
Whoa.
exactly. So
Wow.
You want to get bought?
Do I want to get bought? No, we don't need to.
Is that your extra strategy? Your extra strategy is to build up and
They can double up.
Yeah.
I like what.
Yeah. So I mean, the
story
thing is,
continues.
Yeah. Story continues for sure. So we're serving a different market. So the market that we mostly serve, they don't serve. They're not charging $600, $700, $800 rents. They're charging $2,500, $3,500 rents.
Woo! But how is it that your business model can afford to consistently do that and grow? They're charging so much.
We're not top heavy.
Okay.
I don't pay myself $30 million a year.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But eventually your hard work has to pay off. And so wouldn't that happen with the acquisition?
Yeah. No, it don't necessarily have to happen with the acquisition. Eventually, yes, my hard work does pay off, but I don't need to make $30 million a year.
Okay.
Not right now.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, but not right now.
Okay.
So I'm leveraging that. So it's me reinvesting in my company. You won't see Regis's, and I'm sorry I keep using them, but there's a lot of different companies. But you won't see their CEO waking up 2 a.m. in the morning on a Friday night when everybody else is partying just to go put out yard signs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's not doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the competitive advantage. When you have a competitive advantage over your competitors, you got to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up every day at 4 a.m.
No, for real. Because I be saying them on Instagram, even in the elevator.
Yeah.
I'm up every day.
I pay attention. I wake up to you like no homo, like every morning. Like you like
because every morning I'm in the elevator, and what I say,
we were talking about that.
I say, good morning,
good morning,
entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Every morning.
We was talking about. They was like, "Yo, does he mess up and have to go back up to his room?"
Yeah, because I was making a joke. Like, I don't know if he was so one time that he go down and then come up. He go from first floor to second floor.
They call him One Take Chico.
Yeah, One Take Chico.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, no,
that's cool, man. I love your drive, your ambition.
Yeah.
I see the direction you're going, and yeah, man, continue.
Thanks.
Continue to motivate
Appreciate
me because like I said, I look forward to you every morning. Like kind of like ET. He wakes up early in the morning and kind of get straight to it. So
yeah, no, you got to. I mean, you got to prepare yourself every single morning and go out for it and fight for it. Because if you really want it, you're going to fight for it.
No,
if you don't want it, you're going to make excuses as to why you're not.
For real.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
so
is for real.
So yeah, so no, we have right now about 850 private offices.
Wow.
And then another 700 tenants that are like members that just sign up just to use like, mail service and things like that. So in total, we have about a little more than 1,500 tenants.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So with that 1,500 tenants, what type of packages? I understand that you say you can do private offices as low as maybe $700.
Yeah. So
can you break down?
Yeah, I'm gonna break it down right now. So let's say, for example, we have our membership services, which has like about 3 different services in it. And then we have our private office. So breaking it down. So our first level is our virtual mail. So if you're just an entrepreneur starting a business, right? But you need an address where you can have stuff shipped to, right? You can use us for that. That's $49 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So for $49 a month, you can use a professional address. Your mail comes here. Our community assistant calls you. Hey, hello, Mr. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or Mrs.
Mm-hmm.
You have a package that's just arrived. Would you like me to hold it for you?
Mm-hmm.
And you come pick it up today or tomorrow or next week. Mm-hmm. You can say, you know what? Hey, you know what? I'm going to be in town next week. I'll pick it up then. And we store it for you, hold it for you, and you come pick it up. Okay. That's our virtual mail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then that's $49. Then you have the next level up, which is our membership, which is $99 a month. If you need to use a conference room, you still get that. You can do the address thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can do the virtual mail and the membership, right? But if you need somewhere that you need to physically sit down and get work done, you can use any one of our 13, 14 different locations and get work done in a co-working space or just like the common area. And you could book the conference room for free. Now, all of our competitors, they charge you $25 an hour to book the conference room.
Right.
That sounds like Planet Fitness. We have like the black card, and you go to any Planet Fitness and work out.
Any location, and some of our locations offer unique benefits. For example, if you have access to our Silver Spring location, not only do you have access to just our space, but that location has a top of the line fitness, a gym downstairs with a sauna and a meditation room,
and it's free as long as you have the
Yeah, part of the package.
Hey.
So that's membership.
Okay.
So now I just told you 2, virtual mail, membership, and then the next one is a private desk. So in a private desk, you're in a room about this size, and we have desks, right, that you can rent that are personally yours. Right. And on that desk, we provide you with a computer, a chair, and a table and a little lockbox.
The computer?
A computer?
Yeah.
A desktop?
So watch this. Only $199 a month.
Wow.
A computer though?
Sheesh.
A computer though. and you can have mail sent here. And we ask you the same question.
Yeah.
Hey, miss. Hey, mister. You got a mail that just got delivered here. Would you like us to put it in your private desk office? Or would you like us to hold it until you stop by?
Wow.
Now, in the private desk office, obviously, you're sharing that room with a couple different entrepreneurs.
Right.
And then if you get to the point where you're like, you know what? I'm above this. Or my business is bringing a lot more revenue. Then you graduate to a private office where you have your own office. You get to paint it whatever color you want. You get to design it however you want. And it's yours.
Wow.
And that starts at $499 a month. You can't beat it.
You can't beat that, man.
Yeah, man.
Is there another one?
Is there another one?
Is there another package on top of that?
No, that's
Okay.
So that's
private
the
office.
premium
Okay,
package.
it's premium. Okay.
Private
The
office
premium
starts from $499 to $1,500. So I mean, like $1,500, you live it in a penthouse.
Okay. So I have
That's a
couple,
nice office.
My bad, man.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions for you.
Go for it.
So I've been listening to a couple podcasts, and I've seen this mainly in Atlanta, and it's starting in Baltimore as well. A lot of beauticians and barbers are renting out suites. Would you
Love it.
dabble in that business at all?
We do.
You do? Okay.
Let me tell you something. 80% of our tenants are females.
Mm.
I mean, like the entrepreneur spirit and our female generation,
Mhm.
female population
Mm-hmm.
is unmatched.
Right. That's a fact.
Unmatched.
Mm-hmm.
All of our locations, 80% to I would even say 90% of the folks in the space are female entrepreneurs doing lashes, esthetician, body contouring, hair, braiding, nails, everything.
And they can do that at any one of your
Everything.
16 locations, or there's certain-
Anyone.
That's good. I think people need to know that.
Anyone.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because the thing is, I don't know. Do I want to say this?
Yeah,
Do you want to
speak-
say this?
Hey, truth, man.
You're in a safe
So
space.
the thing is this. The thing is this. The thing is this. Us brothers, we need to do better,
Uh-huh.
right?
No, for real.
Because women realize, right? Women entrepreneurs realize the importance of having a physical office space
Mm-hmm.
to separate from their personal and their professional.
Mm-hmm.
And they do not mind shelling out a little bit of money
Mm-hmm.
because it establishes them as a business. And then they're making money. I'm telling you. If you see the money that, I mean, like some people are making, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like let's just take a lash tech for an example.
And
They're
it's-
bringing in like anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000 a month.
Wow.
Mm.
Not including if they even have courses.
And you
Yeah,
create
I've
yeah.
seen them on Instagram.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
courses.
Right. So
And you-
there was this young lady,
Mhm.
18 years old.
Right.
She was like, "Hey Chico, can you mentor me?" I was like, "Sure." I was like, "Let me see your books." Like, you know what I mean? Like it got, we got close enough where I was like, "Okay, let me see your book." Because she was like, "I need help with accounting."
Mm.
I was like, "Let me see your books." I opened that thing, 18-year-old,
Mm.
bringing in $19,000 a month.
Sheesh.
Killing it.
And you're a pivotal part to that because office suites, the first impression.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The first impression is
First-
everything. You say
first
you got a
impression.
person at the front, that's the first impression.
That's
Yeah.
why.
So that
that's why-
separates, you're separating yourself from everyone else, and they're separating themselves from other business owners as well.
Exactly. We create a platform. I say the perfect office levels the playing field for all entrepreneurs.
That's why you said this joint sexy. You got all the
Sex?
beauticians and
Oh, I mean that too.
Going
You come
crazy.
here, you come here before you go out on a Saturday night. You get your
Everybody
skincare.
loves it.
Sex. Okay, we got it.
Get your
Okay.
skincare, get your lashes, you get your hair done.
Yeah, okay,
Come to
that's the spot.
Chico.
Yeah.
Come to
No,
Chico
come
for
to
the one
perfect
stop.
office, not Chico.
Wait, what is
Come to
it?
Perfect
Chico
Office.
in the house?
Yeah.
Chico, come to Chico in the house.
Come to Perfect Office before you go out to Miami.
I mean, you go to
Before
perfect
you
office.
Tulum, Miami.
Right. Perfect office, you
Everywhere.
can get everything done.
One stop shop.
You know what I'm saying?
Come
You
here.
even got church here, so you can get prayed up too if you need to. You know what I'm saying?
Some holy water on
Run
you.
out to the church.
Right
Yeah.
before you
Wow.
right before you go to Miami, come to Perfect
Oh, we
Office.
get
They
you
treat
right.
you right.
Yeah.
One stop shop.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Get your wig
Nails,
done,
weave,
get your hair
wig,
done, everything.
Sew-ins,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Hit up Perfect Office. Yes, sir.
So, when you told us right now you have what 850 or 1,500 total.
So we have
Tenants?
about 850 tenants that have private offices,
Mm-hmm.
and another 700 to 800 that have those different membership levels that I just explained to you.
Okay.
And then by December we'll have above 1,000 because we're opening up new locations.
Do you mind
Sheesh.
sharing the revenue that you're making off of those spaces now?
Yeah, why not? If I got to tell the IRS, why can't I tell you?
There we
It's
go.
public
Right.
record.
Yeah.
So I mean, you just pretty much take. So on average, although our offices start at $499 a month, on our higher end is $1,500 a month. So let's just take the middle. So if you got 1,000 offices, right, and you multiply that by 800, what do you get?
1,500 office divided by
No, let's just do the offices.
Okay.
1,000 offices,
Yeah.
multiply by 800.
That's
What do you
like
get?
80,000 right there.
No,
That's 800,000.
800,000.
Okay.
A what? A month?
You said, yeah, that's a month.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Hey, big business.
Yeah.
Big business. I like that.
$800,000 a month.
Yeah.
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 Sheesh.
Did you think that from that $35,000 goal you'll be here today?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. You're making some good money.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, obviously, not especially starting with $1,000. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, not
Wow.
at all. But I mean, the thing is, you keep dreaming, you keep working. I mean, it came with work. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's been a lot of people that try to start something like this, and it didn't work out the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So it comes with work, of course, and you got to keep working. You got to keep reinvesting.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
So
there's a reason I don't pay myself as much
Mm-hmm.
because I reinvested.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why I take on a lot of the different roles that, a normal company this size is supposed to hire certain people for.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a reason I don't have those people hired
Mm-hmm.
because I just take on that responsibility of doing some of those things
Right.
and put that money back into the company to grow. Because for me, it's important that we have locations for entrepreneurs. There's entrepreneurs out there right now begging us to come.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? But if I get comfortable and start taking in so much salary where I'm not as ambitious anymore,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what happens? Those folks like myself needing an office space won't get it.
Or they'll start their own the same way you did.
Right.
Mm. Now, do you have any goals of expanding outside of Maryland?
Oh, yeah. We want to have 10 locations in every state.
Sheesh.
500.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah, that's the goal.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Now, how do you market, as far as marketing and advertising? Of course, social media is the way right now, and the internet is the wave. Like, what do you pay for advertisements? Do you do Facebook ads? Can you touch on that?
So the great thing is we have a team of people. So it's not just me, obviously. We have employees. We have managers. And, and everybody is incentivized to do marketing however they feel and however they want to. I believe in just putting the trust and putting the leverage on your staff. So everyone is incentivized to do whatever they do creatively to be able to share the good news of Perfect Office.
Mm.
And when that happens and that results in a transaction, they get rewarded with a bonus.
I like that. Incentivize.
Yeah,
Wow.
you got to incentivize people.
Yeah, because that lowers your turnover rate.
Yeah.
And that keeps people
Yep.
in your business.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what we do. And everybody on the team is doing an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
I will put my team against any team in the industry,
Sheesh.
and we will smoke them.
Mm.
Are we talking
About 10
teams?
times. Yes.
Are we talking teams?
We are talking teams. We are talking teams.
They like what, the 95 Bulls?
Yeah. Are we
Okay.
talking teams?
My team is ridiculous.
Me
Okay.
and yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
that's
love
good.
it because I love it because they're the ones that keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if someone's first starting out in the business and they're thinking about, they have an opportunity presented to them where they can lease out a full floor of a commercial building and they're trying to figure out where they should price their units, what is a good ratio for that they should bring in at the end of the month to know if that's a good commercial lease for them to sign or not?
Yeah, I don't have all that figured out.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of know my numbers in terms of just like, when I go into a location and I need at least 15,000 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, about 15,000 square feet gives me 60 offices.
Okay.
So I kind of work off of that. So if it's a location, let's say for example, okay, Baltimore. When I first opened that location, 15,000 square feet, we got 60 offices.
Okay.
And I know in my head, okay, 60 offices, if priced accordingly, should give me about $50,000, $55,000 a month.
Okay.
Let's say, I negotiate, I'm paying $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to take out $20,000 out of that after everything is paid.
Okay.
So sometimes that's kind of how I work my mind.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay, all right, the Baltimore's full. We just actually 2 weeks ago added another 60 offices to Baltimore. So Baltimore is one of our biggest locations, 120 offices at that location.
Okay.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So with those type of numbers, and then COVID, you grew in the COVID.
Yeah.
Was it because it seems like it's a mix up because you hear that commercial real estate took a hit. You also hear that a lot of businesses went out of business.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the owner of Perfect Office Solutions,
Yeah.
you can say, hey, look, we can be ambitious and add a space, but now you got to risk and see if you're going to be able to lease it out. But it's probably going to be a cheaper lease, but are you still going to find tenants? And how did you navigate that space?
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Never be afraid. If you are afraid, move forward anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. You know why? Because there's a lot of people out there that's already afraid anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when COVID hit, you got two decisions to make. You either retreat or you move forward.
Mm-hmm.
I got my staff together in April and I said, hey guys, obviously they're saying the whole world is going to end, right?
Right.
But if the whole world is going to end, you still got entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we got to be here, right? To service those entrepreneurs until the light goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that wasn't a popular speech. Half of my staff quit. They said, you crazy? There's COVID and I ain't coming to work no more.
Right.
Right? So what am I going to do? Am I going to close my door like my other competitors did?
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm going to find new staff that want to work.
Right.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Found new staff that want to work. And I said, hey, guys, right? Everything out there, right, is going crazy, but we don't have to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is this. Yes, there will be less people looking for office space. Yes, there will be more people out of work that don't have money. But I tell you one thing, our competitors are already closing their door.
Mm.
So yes, there's less people looking for office space, but technically there's more people looking for our space. Because we're the only ones open.
They say,
Right.
look, and sometimes if you're being chased, you don't got to be the fastest. You just don't got to be last.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right. You
So-
don't got to be the best. You just got to be available.
Right.
I say, guys, let's make sure that we're available and open and let the whole world know.
Mm.
So when our competitors are closing their businesses saying, oh, because of COVID, we said, hey, essential workers, essential businesses, come to us. We're open for you.
Mm.
We weren't necessarily marketing to quote unquote non-essential workers
Mhm.
or non-essential businesses. We were saying essential businesses. We're here for you. We know you got to stay open if you're a healthcare provider or a healthcare staffing company that needs to provide nurses.
Mm-hmm.
We're here for you. Of course, at the same time, women still got to get their hair done, lashes done, and
No,
everything
for
done.
real.
I had
You know
my
what I'm
barber come to my office.
Right,
a couple
exactly.
times.
So folks gravitated towards us because we were open.
Mm-hmm.
So we went from a situation where we were signing 30 offices a month till in COVID in May, we signed 75 offices the following month.
Wow.
It was a pandemic,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a pandemic.
Let's go.
It's a
We
pandemic.
opened our Baltimore location, and I was kind of scared a little bit because we opened our Baltimore location last year, February,
Mm-hmm.
right? Pandemic hit in March.
Mm.
April, I had the meeting with the staff. The next month, we did 75.
Wow.
Sheesh.
That's got to feel good.
And in June, we filled up Baltimore.
Mm.
And that's your team. That's why you say you put your team against everybody, because all the people who, when it was comfortable,
Yeah.
they left.
Yeah.
And everyone else now, they battle tested.
Everybody now is battle tested.
Exactly.
They already went through the worst.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, did any of those people ever come back? Like, when they, I was like, hold up. I was tripping a couple
Yeah.
months ago.
I was just playing,
I was just playing.
When you're doing the
I
right
need a
thing,
job.
people always come back.
Yeah,
Mm.
of course.
Yeah.
I understand that.
And it's okay to let them back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
But
okay
you,
to let
you
them
look
back.
at them different.
Mm.
You take $1 off.
They've already told
You petty with it.
no need to. You know what it is? That's somebody confirming that they've learned the lesson that they needed to learn.
Mm.
Take them
So
back.
there's no need to punish them.
Right.
Take them back. Because sometimes they end up being the best employee.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they already know. It's different when you're working with someone that doesn't know.
Yeah.
They're riding the fence.
Mhm.
But someone who leaves the organization
Mm-hmm.
and comes back
Mm-hmm.
knows.
That sounds like
So you
that.
don't really have to do too much teaching. They already know the systems.
And
They
I'm
already know the
confused.
culture.
Reason
Yeah.
why people don't move is because they're confused. They're listening to two different masters.
Mm.
But when you know, you're aligned and you
Mhm.
can move forward effectively.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
gem right
boss
there.
talk right
Appreciate
there.
that.
Yeah.
Now, I just
sure.
had a question for you. I'm going to transition.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any special business licenses you need to operate a business like this?
No, you just need to move forward.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about screening systems?
Along the way,
Okay.
of course, there's stuff that you got to get. Occupancy permit to be able to occupy a building.
Okay.
All these things. But Most of the stuff I figure it out along the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Learn as you go.
Yeah, learn as you go.
Now, what about screening? So when you build that 75 real quick, is it like, hey, I remember where I was when you were asking me for these documentation, so I don't ask you for as much, or like, what is your screening process?
My screening process is this. Remember, I cater to entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs come in all different shapes and sizes.
Mm-hmm.
I say, hey, are you an entrepreneur? Yes. Do you have your security deposit? Yes. Are you ready to commit to a 1-year lease? Yes. You good.
So
I'm gonna trust you.
Yeah.
Unless otherwise.
Now, how's that been for you?
Been great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the thing is, if somebody held me back, remember, I had just quit my job. 2 weeks later, I got an office space. If somebody told me, hey, you know what? You don't have any history of entrepreneurship, right? And you don't have any credit. Matter of fact, you don't have any money in your bank account. You only got $1,000 and you want to start a business. If they said because of that, they weren't going to take me in, which some offices that I went to did say that. If they said that, I would have never been in a situation to provide employment now for 60 different families, run 3 different organizations that would do $10 million this year.
Wow.
Because somebody judged me.
Exactly.
So I don't do it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's a good mindset.
Yeah. So just to confirm, is a year the shortest lease that you can get with your organization?
No, month to month. They could do month to month.
You can do month to month.
Yeah.
But you charge them more though, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
like month to month is just $100 more.
Okay.
So you can do month to month.
Yeah.
It's just $100 more at each of those levels.
Okay.
So we keep it simple.
Now, with COVID and the growth, how do you handle housekeeping? Like, are you still? I know you do it all, but you're not cleaning all these units. Like, what are you doing? Like, do you start a cleaning company? Like, what you do, man?
Outsource. Do you outsource that?
What you got going on, man?
I mean, when there's something when there's a need,
Yeah.
right? As an entrepreneur, you feel that need and you get paid. That's what it's all about. No, I negotiate usually in my contract for the landlord to clean during the weekday. On the weekends, I do have my Perfect Property, which is my property management company, has a contract with Perfect Office to clean it on the weekends.
Wow.
You keep it all in house.
Yeah, you got to. And then all the staff that work at Perfect Office are hired from Perfect Staffing.
It's too perfect over here, man.
He was talking that, but he's serious.
It's too perfect over here, man.
I like that.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just have a question. So, how do you price out your studios? I mean, your suites.
So I mean, it just kind of depends on our build out and the cost of rent. So just kind of taking rent and just dividing it to all of the. So I mean, the technical way, I guess I got to give an answer to this, but it's kind of like a feeling. I could walk in a room and tell you what price it is, and figure out where we need to be able to make rent, make payroll, make marketing costs, make all that stuff. But I guess if you want to be technical, usually what I do, I take the amount of rent. So let's say the amount of rent is like $30,000 or whatever, and then I'll divide that by the amount of suites that we have, and I get that number and then add a little bit more to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
That makes sense.
Add a little bit more to it.
Definitely.
If it's a window office, add a little bit more. If it's a non-window office, add a little bit less. If it's carpet, if it's wood floor.
And you can do that from your personal experience. You're like, would I pay $600 for this?
Right.
Would I pay $800? Would I pay
not even what I do it. It's just about like, in that location, okay, all right, does this have a window? Of course, windowed office is a little bit more. Non-windowed office is a little bit less. Offices with carpet are a little bit less compared to offices with vinyl LVTs.
Okay.
Yeah, so just along the way, you just kind of figure out what markets to charge what, and and then outside of all of that, we also have other service revenues like our event revenue, so our because we have events, so we have an event space.
Okay, I saw the sign out there.
Yeah, that folks can rent out on an hourly basis. I mean, our event space alone is a 6-figure business.
Are you doing that on Peer Space, or are you doing that
Peer Space, and then also internally?
Intern? Okay, yeah. That's awesome. For sure.
Yeah, man, you dropping a lot of gems today. Well, we call them bergs. You dropped a lot of bergs, man. Sheesh.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's what we came here for, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, man. So I just had another question. So how exposed are you if you can't rent out your office suites? consistently, or if the landlord terminates a lease. Have that ever happened to you?
No, a landlord hasn't terminated our lease, and let's keep it that way. We provide. I mean, I think we provide so much value to the building for the most part that they find it a value for us to be there. For example, the landlord that we have our first two buildings, Laurel and Beltsville, they just bought a building in February. You know the first person they called?
Perfect office.
Of course.
Yeah.
Said, hey, Chiko. Matter of fact, actually, they started calling me in November. They said, hey, we're bidding on this building. We're about to buy it. It's 2 buildings, 5 floors, 15,000 square feet on each floor. Do you want part of it? Do you want part of it? I said, just call me back when you buy the building.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be daydreaming and stuff. Just call me when you buy the building. February comes around. Hey, man, we just bought the buildings, 2 buildings. Bought it for $6 million. You erased that part. So we bought the building. And then they were like, you know what? You want a floor? I was like, yeah, I mean, like I already had a location in Laurel. So I wasn't really sure if I should. But I was like, okay, our Laurel location is 90%, 95% occupied all the time for the past 2 years, right? That means there's a demand there, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. Sure, I'll take 15,000 square feet, take a whole floor, you know, pay $30,000 a month. So we take up the entire 5th floor, right? And we start telling people, hey, we got a second Laurel location coming. April 1st, we launch. April 1st, that week that we open, we signed 30 new leases.
Wow.
60 offices on that floor. And then the second week, signed another 30. Done. Right? He calls me. He's like, hey, Chiko, just want to know, like, you know, how things are going. Did you get a chance, like, you can kind of move in already? You know.
Did I?
I said, we in.
Yeah,
we all the way in.
Yeah.
Fill them up, baby.
He's like, so how's it going? You got, like, you know, 2 tenants in already, or, you know, like one, your first lease yet?
Yeah.
I said, Ben, I'm done, man.
Yeah.
I'm done. We're all 60 offices, all full. He's like, what? What the?
Yeah.
You know. Then he's like,
Sheesh.
he's like, well, I mean, I got a 4th floor. That's available. You want that too?
Yeah.
Right.
I said, you know what? Go ahead. Give us the 4th floor. Yeah. So it's so funny because a week ago, we just opened the 4th floor on June 18th. No, June 26th. June 26th. We just opened our 4th floor, and 40 of those offices are gone out of the 60.
So when that situation occurs, when they're selling you.
Yeah.
Does that give you a lot of leverage in negotiations, or like is a discount each floor?
Of course.
Okay.
It gives you a lot of power.
Okay.
Because now you're going to think about it. When a landlord buys a building, they're not in the business of filling the space. They know how to buy a building. They have the resources to buy a building. They can put together enough funds to buy a building. The scariest part to a landlord is filling it. They don't know how to do that. We know how to do that. So we go to a landlord, we say, hey, you can buy this building, but we understand the economics. How it works is that when you fill it, that's when you can sell it or go refinance it. So I understand how valuable I am. Understanding that gives you leverage.
Yeah.
And then, so I mean, like, you know, we understand how the value that we bring to the table.
And then you bring more value to the building in case the landlord wants to sell it.
Of course.
Because you're generating so much revenue for the landlord. Now you bring value.
Occupancy.
Has that ever happened where someone, you started with one tenant and then the building sold and you had another tenant?
You mean, you started with one landlord and the building sold.
Landlord, my bad.
Many times.
Yeah.
Like our Baltimore location, as soon as we got in there, the whole building was 50%. I mean, well, it was at 50%. As soon as we got in there, it was 75%. So he sold.
Yeah.
Then a new landlord came in there. Boom. Now we took up more space. It's 100%. He's ready to sell. So, you know, and they're asking me if I want to, you know, buy it, but
that's where I was going at that point. There's 2 trains of thought. Some said that there's power in not necessarily ownership, but in controllership. Some say that no, the true power lies in ownership. You having all these different units, what are your thought process? Because it seems like you may be comfortable in controllership, meaning you control these different units. What do you think? Does this make sense for you to buy a building at this point in time, or what are your thoughts?
So it just depends on what your goals are and what your game plan is, and you got to make sure that you're always playing your game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Don't play somebody else's game or their plan. So the thing is, for it just depends on what you're trying to do. Leasing the buildings allows me to move a little bit faster.
Right.
I could own a building,
Mm-hmm.
but that would make me go a little bit slower.
Mm.
And then owning a building will give me a little bit more more leverage than I have right now to do a lot more other stuff that I want to do.
Mm.
But that's not the game that I'm in right now. The game that I'm in right now is scale.
Mm.
So when I'm in the game of scale, ownership slows me down.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I need
You're
to.
tying up a lot of equity and
Yeah,
cash.
I'm tying up a lot of equity. I'm tying up a lot of time, and I'm tying up a lot. It's just slower.
You just try to get in and out. Let me fill it up. Let me get it out. Do the next job.
I don't need to own the car. I just need to drive it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't need to buy a whole school. I just need the education.
Right.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah, it's almost like I just want to rent. You know what I'm
It
saying?
just makes sense. You found your niche and
Yeah.
you're successful at it.
Yeah, I just want to
You
open
mess
up.
up your systems.
Exactly. Open up a whole bunch of different locations. And then at a point, yes, I will start buying.
Mm-hmm.
But
You
that's
can probably get your rents down even further.
of course. So
Yeah.
that's a different game plan that I will play
Mm-hmm.
at a certain point. But at this point, I need to dominate the market.
Because right now you kind of choking Regis a little bit. But when you have your building,
I ain't choking it
you're
yet.
gonna be straight. It's gonna be
He's like
great.
plucking Regis right now.
you know,
He-
you
I
know,
ain't choking
at
it
least
yet.
in this market.
He just like,
Yeah.
In this market.
This market.
plucking
Them bad boys making $1 billion
yeah.
a year.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't worried about me.
But he found his own lane,
Yeah.
his
Okay.
own target
Yeah.
market, and he
Uh-huh.
caters to that
They
target
ain't worried
market.
about me.
Yeah.
In this market, you Regis, man.
Right.
You just
Exactly.
need one more.
Right.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So right now we're at the top of the iceberg.
Okay.
All right. We've learned a lot from you. And we got a couple questions in this section.
Sure.
My question to you is, because you said you haven't been paying yourself aggressively as you could have, what is your entrepreneurial retirement plan?
I don't have one. I don't plan to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't plan to retire. I'm chasing my dreams until I die.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Now,
Mm.
I will say something. Never pay yourself enough to lose your dream.
You gotta break that down.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
That's
like a
a
bird.
gem.
Yeah, break that
That's a
down.
berg.
Never pay yourself too much that you lose your dream or you lose your hustle.
Mm.
Right. I need to be the same Chiko I was in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, or greater.
So let me back that up. If you were an entrepreneur that paid yourself too much, how do you get that back?
If you are an entrepreneur that pays yourself too much,
Uh-huh.
you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're doing yourself a disservice.
Uh-huh.
You're not as hungry anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're not as ambitious anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You don't wake up anymore.
Yeah.
You see opportunities, you say, not this time.
Mm-hmm.
You're losing the game.
How did you know that? How did you know not to do that? To avoid that?
I watched other people
Mm.
that I will watch. They were ambitious, and then they lose it.
Mm.
Started flashing. Started just doing stuff that wasn't necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they got comfortable, and that's fine if that's the game plan. But for me, I just don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm comfortable. A lot of times, people always ask me, "What do you pay yourself?"
Mm-hmm.
Say, I pay myself just enough to be hungry every day,
Mm-hmm.
just enough to get up early, just enough to keep chasing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't pay myself that much.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
From perfect staffing, I don't pay myself more than $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
And at perfect office, I don't pay myself more than $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
But when folks look at it, they're like, "Oh, Chiko, you making this type of money? You supposed to be paying yourself $1 million."
Right.
Why?
Right.
If I pay myself $1 million, I would never get up.
Mm-hmm.
I want it.
Comfortable, complacent.
I'll be comfortable.
And boxing, they say it's hard to get in fight when you sleeping in silk sheets.
Of course.
You know, it's hard to fight when you sleep in silk sheets.
Yeah. I was hungry
real.
the first year making 100 phone calls. You know why? I was sleeping on an air mattress.
Mm.
I didn't have a bed.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? So I woke up early because I was uncomfortable.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
So you keep that mindset. You keep yourself in that place.
Yeah.
So you can keep that mindset, that
Yeah.
hunger.
It keeps you hungry.
Mm.
That makes so
If
much
you're not
sense.
hungry, you're not going to catch or go get food.
That's
You're just
true.
not.
Hey man,
That's
you got
so
me ready to pull out the expedition.
Yeah.
I
Oh, you
swear.
did have an
I
expedition.
still got the expedition.
You still got the expedition?
That's the work
Yeah.
truck, man.
Yeah, I
You
still
me
got
ready to
my
pull out
little
the
whip.
expedition.
Yeah.
I still
It's
got my
almost
little
like
whip.
it's almost like as you become more successful in life, right? You got to discipline yourself to become more hungry.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, when you ride in the BMW,
Uh-huh.
get your back massage, you got the seat warmers. You didn't have that before. In my
Right.
Nissan Maxima,
Uh-huh.
cold outside, I didn't have no AC. I didn't have no
Yeah.
heat.
Yeah.
I didn't have no heat.
Mm.
I had to hustle.
Exactly.
I didn't have
Mm.
nowhere else to go. But now you're in your car, you chilling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I got the penthouse loft. You know, I walk in, my house says, "Welcome, Chico." You know what I'm saying?
Chico
You know
getting
what
too
I'm
much
He
money.
had the Alexa.
You know what I'm saying?
What
You know what
was
I'm
that,
saying?
2012? He had the Alexa.
You know what I'm saying? I type on the table what movie I want to watch.
Uh-huh.
Open up the table. I got my drinks there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're comfortable.
You had to stop that.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, you still got it.
You
Still
had
got
to
it.
stop. I understand you had to stop it.
But
Okay.
he could get something better.
Right.
That's what
No,
he's
no,
saying.
Okay.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You
Oh,
can
okay.
have that,
Uh-huh.
right? But you have to make sure you train your mind, you discipline your mind
Uh-huh.
to still have the same hustle.
Okay.
Because if you don't, you get in that position where your reality is comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And because you worked hard to get that, your reality is comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to train your mind to still be a hustler.
There we go.
It's all about
Got
mindset,
There we
man.
go.
So meaning now I got a bed instead of sleeping in an air mattress. I still got to wake up when I was waking up in my air mattress.
Yeah.
4 o'clock.
Sometimes you might just have to pull out the air mattress. That's how I'm feeling right now. After listening to you, you might just, I got an air mattress in my guest room. I'm gonna put that
No,
right
but
now.
I kind of get what
You
you're
know,
saying.
yeah,
Like
right,
you
right.
definitely want to keep yourself humble. You
Yeah.
definitely want to keep yourself
Definitely
in a
wanna
hunger
keep yourself-
mentality.
Yeah.
For sure, because mindset definitely plays a pivotal
keeps you
role
ready.
in getting yourself to that next level.
It keeps you ready.
Yeah. So I just have a question for you. So you know you're successful. You're making a lot of money, but decent money. You pay yourself, but you generate a lot of money. What is like your end goal, and what do you see yourself in 5 years?
I don't have an end goal. Okay. I don't want it to end.
You don't want it to end.
Yeah. You got to build a lifestyle that you don't have to take a vacation from.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Does that mean that you work while you're on vacation, or you're saying you don't even want to?
No, it's
Go
not,
anywhere.
it has. It's deeper than that. Build a lifestyle that you don't have to take a vacation from, which means you're not looking forward to it ending.
Oh,
Okay.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
a never-ending story.
For sure.
I want my lifestyle. I like my lifestyle.
You excited to wake up every morning?
Every morning.
It's
For
not
sure.
work to him.
It's not.
It's
Yeah.
not work.
That's
That's
a
the
good
type
place
of
to be
lifestyle
in.
you want to build. So, and the second question is, what's my vision? What
Yeah,
you
5
say?
years. Where you see yourself in 5 years from now?
And 5 years from now, I see myself better than I was today. Simple.
Mm.
Sometimes we overcomplicate stuff.
Do you believe in the 1% rule? You just compound interest every day. You get 1% better. Or
Sure.
how you doing it? When
I
you said
just-
goal. Do you have a vision board? Like where? How do you plan out your years and your successes?
Bruh, I keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be better tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
than I was today.
Okay.
That's it.
Awesome.
If that means that I just want to be better tomorrow than I was today. If it means that I can brush my hair a little bit better tomorrow than I did today,
Mm-hmm.
I'm better.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Trying to get them 360.
You always
Yeah,
fulfill,
baby.
man.
Maybe. You know what I'm saying?
You
So the
already
thing is,
feel-
listen,
Yeah.
and everybody is successful.
Mm.
Everybody. Because you know what it is? Somebody once said it. Success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile goal.
Say that again.
Success
Okay.
is the progressive realization
Mm-hmm.
of your worthwhile goal.
There we go.
So if you know where you are right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know where you're trying to get to, and you're a little bit closer tomorrow than you were yesterday, you're successful. because you're progressing.
There we go.
Success is progress.
That's a bird.
And everybody has the potential of progress.
They just gotta find out what they love to do. It's like it's
They don't even have
It's your purpose.
they don't even have to love it.
You know?
Somebody's been telling you gotta love something. You don't even gotta love it.
Wow.
You just gotta be closer to your dreams than you were yesterday.
So
Because when I was making those 100 phone calls, did I love it? No.
No, I'm not talking about in the sense of the action. I'm talking about whatever your goal, your end goal is.
You
your
don't
purpose.
even have to love it.
You don't have to love it.
No.
So you can be driven by the dollar.
Not by the dollar, by progress.
Okay.
By progress. Now, your progress there could be a dollar attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
There could be a feeling attached to it. There could be an emotion attached to it. But it's progress.
Would you say that you're still attached to that motion that you were looking to feel when you got that first job? Is that what your personal driving force is?
I think my personal driving force right now is just to be greater than I was before. Because I know I'm playing below my potential even now.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, I know I'm playing below my potential.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it. God, I don't know what you believe, but God created us in his image.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know what that means? That means we are all playing below our potential.
You about to ask us the mathematics.
God created you in his image.
Mm-hmm.
That means you have access to any and everything, and you can do any and everything.
Manifestation.
Right. So we're all playing below our potential.
I believe that.
So my thing is this. If I know that I'm playing below my potential, what do I need to do to get closer to my potential every single day? That's just what I'm in it for now. You know what I'm saying? I've already got my freedom.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So, with that said, you have your freedom.
Yeah.
And I think you told us that you had a staff member that you were mentoring as well. Do you have any plans or do you have any mentorship opportunities available for the public or your staff? What are you doing for that so they can realize that freedom as well?
Yeah. Anybody that want to learn, come on, let's do it. You just got to be willing to put in the work.
So how did they just hit you up?
Hit me up.
Okay.
I've never said no to anybody.
Okay.
People say no to themselves. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, people say no to themselves. You know, folks hit me up. They say, hey, Chico, I want you to mentor me. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm here. I'm going to tell you what I know.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, at the end, you know, you got to believe in yourself. Yes, that's number one. And that's the part that we all fail. We don't believe in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Then after you believe in yourself, then you got to work. Because it says, book I read, faith without works with an S is dead.
Mm-hmm.
What that mean? It doesn't say faith without work is dead. It said faith without works is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Most people just try one time and they give up.
That's a fact.
Yeah. You got to keep working until that which you have faith in becomes a reality.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true, man.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That's a bird.
Yes, that's so true. Because I always had this vision for this podcast.
Yep.
And I didn't have that confidence that you were talking about.
You don't even have to have
Nobody-
confidence. You just got to have action.
Exactly. And action too. I was going to touch on that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, man, if I had the action and the confidence, sheesh. But you know, everything's about timing.
Right.
I met this young guy right here.
That's what was the spark.
Yeah.
That's how we started rolling.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. So
we got to have action items after every meeting.
and
That's just how I
we're a
conduct
team,
things.
so we all know our roles and we all play our position and we all have positive energy and we
Good.
all do, you know, we all have one goal in mind.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Progress. That's why when you hit me up, I say, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, man.
I
Power of social media, man.
I didn't hesitate. I said, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate that too.
Exactly.
Man. Really do. For sure. Appreciate
All right,
it.
man. So we're about to transition to it's called rapid fire questions, man. So we're about to ask you some questions.
Okay. Let's go.
And you answer them to the best of your ability. Okay?
All right.
So if you had $100 in a laptop, where would you start to build your business?
If I had $100 and a laptop, where would I start to build my business? I would get rid of the 100.
Not the laptop?
I would get rid of the 100.
All right, but what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Explain.
Meaning that $100 is no money.
Okay.
But if I have $100, I'm going to start to rely on that $100.
Okay.
I'm going to get rid of the 100. I'm going to tear it up.
You want to tear the 100 up?
I'm going to tear it up.
You never get
Sheesh.
the Metro PCS joint? Give you 30
You know why
days?
they get no phone, no
Yeah,
internet?
so you can put the two
Watch
together.
this. If you got the 100,
Uh-huh.
your mind is gonna be limited to the 100.
Mm.
You already lost because you
Mm.
can't do nothing with the 100. So I'm gonna get rid of that 100. Right?
Okay. How you gonna get rid of it though?
I'm gonna tear it up.
Oh,
You're not gonna give it away?
I'm gonna tear it up, or I'm gonna give it away. I'm gonna put it in the back, wherever.
Okay.
But the thing is this: I'm getting rid of the 100
Right.
because the 100 is my first obstacle.
Do you almost look at the 100 as it's like a job? It's like
No.
the security that a job may bring or something like that?
You don't want no security?
No security?
None. The 100 is the first obstacle.
I like that.
You're the first person to answer
Yeah,
that question
yeah,
like that.
Because
yeah,
the thing
never-
is this: if you got the 100, you already asked me a question. You put me in a box.
Mm-hmm.
You put me in the box of the 100.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking myself out of that box because I don't need that 100.
Right.
Because you don't need money to make money. You need to find value and create value.
Ooh, that's
That's
a
a
bird.
fact.
That's a bird.
Sheesh.
That's a bird.
So I get rid of the 100. Do you know what I'm gonna find?
What?
I'm gonna find someone who I can give or provide value to,
Mm.
and that person will give me 100 times 100.
And that's what you've been doing with the
That's all you got to
the
do.
landlords and people. Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Sheesh.
Provide value, and you get paid.
Mm. So, next question. 850 credit score or 100,000 cash?
You don't need credit.
So you taking the cash?
I
Then
definitely.
you giving that cash away.
Then I'm giving that. I'm giving that cash away too. You can't
You
limit
give it away
yourself.
100? You gonna keep the credit score with throw away the 100,000?
$100,000 is no money.
Sheesh.
It's no money.
Uh-huh.
Again, you put yourself in a box of 100,000. Throw it away. You got $1 billion worth of value in you.
Mm.
Period.
So you were gonna take the 850 then, and not take the 100?
No, I'm saying 850. What's that? What's 850?
850 credit score.
Yeah.
What's that?
That get you any office space you want.
No.
No money down.
No money now.
Watch this. If you got value,
Uh-huh.
you don't need credit.
Mm.
Damn, you can't put a dollar sign on value. That's what
You
you're
can't.
preaching.
You can't. You think somebody's asking Jeff Bezos his credit score?
Mm.
Absolutely not.
And that's the next question.
He's got
As a matter
value.
of fact, I'm about to transition to that. You talking about cash? Would you take $1 million or a week with Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos?
I would take knowledge any day.
Knowledge over money. That's smart. That's smart.
You know why I would take knowledge?
Why?
Watch this. You asked me if I would take $1 million over the mindset and the knowledge of somebody who's a billionaire.
2 billionaires.
Right.
Yeah.
I would take that. Now, if you ask me, would I take $1 million off a cray cray on the side of the street? I'm taking $1 million because I can turn that $1 million into $1 billion.
Okay.
Right. But I would rather spend time with someone that has the capacity past $1 billion
Right.
than settle for $1 million.
Mm.
It's different.
I agree.
Your mindset different, man.
Yep.
Sure. Okay, so what is, if you're trying to start your own first office, leasing office, what is the best client management software or software that you can use to start the type of business that you have?
No.
Is it a program or you just write everything down? What are you using? How do you start it?
So now we're starting to be a little bit more programmatic and stuff like that. Even with that, really honest, we use spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets.
Right. And we
Wow.
use a payment platform and stuff like that. But in the beginning, I want to get bogged down by all that stuff.
Subscriptions, learning.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of
Yeah.
people get. Yeah, a lot of people get that confused.
People get, this is what I like to call it, knowledge constipation.
Wow, what do you mean? Explain.
Okay. People acquire so much knowledge, right? Or seek so much knowledge that knowledge impedes them from moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge is just an excuse not to take action.
Wow.
I agree.
We all been on that road.
That's all it
We
is.
take notes.
Yeah.
But we don't take the
Yeah.
action.
Yeah, I
Knowledge
don't study them
sometimes is an excuse for you not to take action. That's what I call knowledge constipation.
Mm.
When you're constipated, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to go to the restroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
People acquire knowledge and keep it there. Knowledge is supposed to be acquired and used.
Mm-hmm.
Acquired and used. Acquired and implemented. Most of us, we acquire knowledge and leave it there. So we're constipated. We don't do anything. Because we're like, oh, all right, now that I know that I'm supposed to have $250,000 to start a staffing company, since I don't have $250,000, I'm not going to start a staffing company. I'm going to just keep trying to save. That's what I was doing.
Sheesh.
That's what I was doing. And I could never save $250,000 because I read somewhere, I got the knowledge that in order to start a staffing company, you needed $250,000 because you needed to cover a payroll before the company pays you, which makes perfect sense because in a staffing company, you got to pay your staff every 2 weeks, right? You got to pay your staff every 2 weeks. But the client pays you 30 days later. So how are you going to do that?
How did you do it?
You got to pay your staff every 2 weeks.
See.
Who was my first staff?
You.
Me.
Okay.
I can sacrifice not paying myself for a couple weeks. I get the money. Now I hire enough staff that my money can pay for them. There's a way to everything.
I mean, what's hustling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Yes.
That's a bird. Appreciate that.
All right, man. This is the last and final question.
Let's do it.
And then we're going to wrap it up after this. Man. It almost feel like I don't even want to wrap this up, man.
I know.
Like,
We still got another question.
We got
another question.
We got to wrap it up.
Let's go. Let's go.
So
I'm ready for it.
Last question. So what was the last book you read?
A long time ago. I mostly read articles nowadays. I don't read books. It take too long. Yeah.
You don't read a lot of books?
Yeah, I don't read a lot of books.
All right, so you said articles. Because I've never heard of that.
So
I know some people who read like case studies maybe.
yeah,
But you said you read articles.
I read articles. So normally what I do is, the way I do it is like every single night I read 2 hours. So what I do is like during the day, there's things that happen and I take mental note in terms of, oh, wow, I don't know that. So I'll write it down on my mental note saying, okay, Chiko, you need to read about that. Or something I'm a little bit more interested in, I'll write it down. Chiko, you need to read about that. Or I might meet someone that's connected to a company that I don't know anything about, and I might write that company name down, right? So then when at night, right before I'm about to go to sleep around like 10, 11, I'll pull up Google and I'll type in that company or that information. And then what I'll do is I'll click on news so that it'll show me all the news that have to deal with that company or that subject. And then I'll just read it. I'll start there. So let's say, I don't know, I'm just gonna pick something. Let's say Elon Musk, Bitcoin, something like that, right? So I'll type in Elon Musk, Bitcoin. And then I'll start reading that, right? So it might talk about like when Elon Musk was, promoting Dogecoin or something like that. But then as I'm reading that, I might find something else I'm interested in. I might want to learn about Elon Musk. So then at that point, I type in Elon Musk, read all about Elon Musk and his history. In that process of me reading about him, I might find out that his mom is a celebrity. Then I jump to that. I start reading that. In that process, I might find out that she was born in a different country. And then I jump to that. I start reading that country. What's the population? What's the median income? When did that company start? When did their revolution happen? When did their freedom happen? That might take me to another situation.
Okay.
So for me, reading is a journey.
Right.
So I start with one thing. I might end up with the next thing, but I got to read 2 hours every night.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Now, are you watching TV or anything, or you read?
Not interested.
You got time to watch TV.
Yeah, not interested in TV.
You're working so much. Do you even own a TV?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
just in case when I need to watch it. Sometimes I watch Netflix, but that's recent. But the way I see it, people on TV are living their lives.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And I used to watch a lot of TV before until I disciplined. So in life, you got to play. I play games with myself. The game's called discipline, right?
Me too. I do that.
One of the disciplines that I did with myself is I used to watch a lot of TV. But then I realized, I'm like, you know what? I'm watching these people live their life when I could be out there making my life. So I told myself, hey, in order for you to watch TV, you can watch TV if you want to. But for how many ever hour you want to watch TV, you got to watch that TV off for that amount of hours.
Okay. So it's like earn. You got to earn it.
You got to earn it. So if you want to watch TV for 1 hour, you got to watch it off, turn off for 1 hour. Then you get to watch it for an hour. I got tired of doing that.
That's when you spend your time doing articles, whatever.
No, so like I got tired of watching the TV blank.
Wait, you watched it blank? Literally?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's how I disciplined myself. I was like, you have to watch it 30 minutes blank if you want to watch a 30-minute show.
Okay.
So I did that that's how much I was addicted to TV.
Wow.
I did that a couple times. Then I realized this is so stupid. Why am I watching a blank screen?
Wow.
So I was trying to train my mind, and when I'm watching TV, I'm watching a blank screen.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
Right. So I stopped watching TV.
Wow.
Just like in college.
You like hazed yourself.
Hazed myself. In college, I was like, you know what? If I want to be better than, this situation here, I got to elevate myself. How am I going to do that? Okay, Chiko, you know what? You got to dress up every day.
Mm,
In college, I dressed up every single day.
that's all.
Every single day.
Yeah.
No questions
In
asked.
college, I wore pajamas, man.
We had
8
Omega
a.m.
Tuesdays,
classes.
so I dressed up on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
8 a.m.
You know,
classes,
I dressed
man.
up every day.
Yeah, I dressed up on Tuesdays.
I wore pajamas.
Yeah, they used to call me Mr.
Class, bro.
Mr. Chico on campus.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I had my little briefcase too.
Oh, word?
A little nerd.
And
Sheesh.
so did you get all A's in college as well?
Yeah, I got mostly A's.
There we go.
I got mostly A's. I didn't get all A's, but I got mostly A's. I graduated top 5%.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that,
That's
Chico.
awesome.
But yeah, man, thank you so much.
For
Yes.
sure.
Thank
been
you
giving
guys.
us
You guys
so
are doing-
much
you guys are
knowledge,
doing-
man.
That's
You,
solid. Appreciate it.
yeah, we gotta
Yes.
continue this relationship. man.
Exactly.
Of course.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So this is another episode of Below the Iceberg
There we go.
podcast, man. We got Mr. Perfect Office himself,
There
Yep.
we go.
the sweet guru, Chico,
Yes.
and my co-host.
This goes Millionaire Mo. You know what? I really hope you guys got some gems from this podcast. I know I did. I almost feel like I was in the audience while speaking with Mr.
Yeah.
Chico. So thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to leave about your business? Anything they could reach
Like
you?
your Instagram,
Anything you want to?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, if you guys want to find out who I am, just hop on Instagram, Chico the Dream Chaser. And then basically, man, thank you guys for spending the time to watch us and listen to us. And I just want to encourage you all, whatever your goals and dreams are, just chase that. You know what I'm saying? Don't make any excuses for it. This is the time now. You're going to be excited and happy that you made the decision to chase your dreams and your goals. So just don't make any excuses. Just start now. I'm glad I started at the age of 26, pursuing the entrepreneurship dream. And I'm about to turn 35, and I'm excited about what's to come next. Okay. But if you have goals and dreams, go ahead and pursue it, and don't make any excuses about it.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
And that wraps us up.
Another episode in
Another episode.